about the other day.
Yeah, what do you think?
Like while I was driving in my car, listening to my XM,
your satellite radio.
XM, man.
Oh, the one you got for like $5 a month? That you negotiated them down to like $5 a month?
Yes, I'm going to negotiate them down again in about 6 months to fucking $350 if I can.
Mm-hmm.
We come a long way since FM, AM radio, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah.
I was like thinking about like when I was about 17 because that's when I really got my first job.
Mm-hmm.
My first real job. And driving to work with my father and shit. And in the morning,
oh, you and your father worked at the same place?
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the morning, him listening to freaking NPR at freaking 5:30 in the morning.
Oh.
And I hated every second of it. All the low talking, all like the monotone, and the monotone sound.
Very soft.
This is NPR. Oh God! You know what? It was like he was punching me in the ear the whole time with just this low monotone sound, and they talk about shit that I wasn't into.
Uh-huh.
And it was just the worst thing ever to me.
It was that bad.
Now I can appreciate it. But back then, it was just the shittiest shit that ever shitted in my ears.
So what would they talk about on NPR? Back then, anyway.
They would talk about, the water deposits at an Aquaban Reservoir are pretty low. Blah 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 and blah, blah. I'm like, well, we have a guest from the Philharmonic coming in, and he's gonna talk about sound waves and how they travel. Like, oh, come on, really?
And that's what you had to listen to on your way to work?
I would look at my father. I'd be like, can you please turn 93.7 on or freaking college radio or something other than this? And he would just wave his hand and be like, shut up, boy. I'm like, oh, jeez. Like, can they have just like, can a sound wave, like their voice just go up or down? Give me something to know that they're alive.
Well, because at NPR, they got a way of like speaking a lot of times, man, where everything is just kind of like this very monotone, soft hush, kind of like sound. They're like known for that.
It's like a listen to us because we're saying something that we don't have to yell. We don't have to yell because what we're saying is crucial to your life. We are NPR. Or it'll be like birds, or it'll be wind blowing, or like, and there was never a goddamn commercial.
No, because they're public radio.
I know, but it was never a commercial.
Unless it was probably something like something from a pamphlet from Pueblo, Colorado that they wanted you to get.
Pueblo, Colorado, 81009. Oh, jeez. Why do I know that? Because it was on all the time.
All the time, man.
Yeah.
Yep, all the time. I've heard NPR before, and it's just like, don't get me wrong. They got some, pretty informative, stuff there.
No, but see, now you think it's informative. But back then, listening to it with your own 17-year-old ears, you're like, what the fuck is this?
No, it's like, I have no interest in any of this shit whatsoever. Everybody used to talk like, and now on today's show, we're going to talk about leaves.
Yeah.
Should you pick them up? Or should you let nature take care of its own business? It's like, and everything is like just goddamn soft.
Jack, nature should take care of its own business. Because when nature's business is its own business, it does its business while business is being done. And on that note, we have business to do on our own. Like, oh, fuck.
Dude, they would sit there, like sometimes, and they would have these like 2.5 hour fucking shows on like topics that were like, who the fuck wants to talk about that? Like, for example, they'll be like, and on today's 2.5 hour radio show, we're going to talk about composting.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
It's like composting. Like,
what is the correct way to compost? We have We have a compost expert, and we have a guy that just composts in his backyard. Yeah.
We have our composting expert, Bill McFadden.
Yeah. He comes to us from the National Organization of Composting and Tree Growing. What?
Nestled in the hills of Twigvern, Vermont. Yeah. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
I live in Vermont by the way of Appalachia.
Yo, and even the guests would sound like quiet. Like, Bill, thank you for coming on the radio. Thank you, Donna. It's a pleasure to be here. It's
the best representation, SNL, sweaty balls.
Yeah, that's a pretty good that's a very good representation of what NPR usually sounds like. You know what though, but at least with NPR, like, you know, I mean, you heard it, was it on FM? Or was it on AM?
It was on AM.
It was on AM.
No. It was on FM.
It was on FM.
But it was just a public radio.
Okay.
FM.
Well, trust me, you know, when I was coming up, man, like my father did the same thing. My father listened to music sometimes on the radio, but not often. Most of the time, back in the old days when I was a kid, my father used to listen to sports, if there was sports on. I mean, not kind of like now where there's, you know how now there's sports talk everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Back then, there was only maybe a couple of stations maybe doing it, and they would only do it for like a certain time. They called it sports hour with John, kick me in the balls, whatever. But like he would listen to like
with David McBatterson.
Yeah, David McBatterson. with retired NFL offensive lineman Bill Musk.
We have baseball now.
Yeah,
with David McBatterson.
Like
he's hitting home runs all day.
No, but my father would listen to this shit, man, and it was like, but he would listen to a lot of like news.
Yeah.
And it was on AM. And most people don't even listen to AM radio. AM radio is
you had to suffer AM radio?
Oh.
Well, see, at least I didn't have to suffer AM radio.
I had to suffer AM radio with him in the car, and it was the worst. It was the absolute worst. Dude, I hated it because it's goddamn static. It was static. Dude, you'd go like you'd make a left turn and lose half the signal. And then you'd make a right turn to get the signal back. You should have seen it. It would take us forever to get from the corner store to our house, and we live 3 blocks away.
Listen, I tried AM radio for like 2 seconds. I couldn't handle it.
Oh, I couldn't, man. My father would fucking be in his fucking goddamn giant Lincoln Continental pimp car that he had at the time. And like, I swear to God, sometimes I think that you know how like when you can't because if there was something interesting on the radio, but the static was interfering, he was constantly fucking with the knob to try to get it.
Well, see, that was when you could fuck with the knobs and kind of fine-tune what you want.
I honestly think, though, that like to get a better signal, the car would have to be moving in a certain direction. I swear to God, I think that he took a lot of unnecessary turns just to hold on to the signal.
Shit, I got to turn left. Okay, it's back.
Dad, we're in a cemetery. Shut up, son.
You're taking it a long way.
Yeah, I know, right? Dad, we're going down to Hartford. just till the Enfield exit, son.
I said, shut up.
Yeah, I hated it, man. Yeah. And it was always these guys, like these monotone speaking white guys who were talking, and the GOP's legislation bill is passed into the House today.
Yep.
You're like, I was like, yo, can we at least get the FM station on?
But the Latin channels on AM, they were always yelling. Always.
Oh, yeah.
Always yelling.
I mean, well, they're Latin. That's what we do.
Yeah, but
we yell.
They were always yelling, and they all sound like Don Francisco.
Yeah, of course, because we're Latin. I mean, but half the time you couldn't even hear them. Half the time you couldn't even hear them unless you were at a stationary spot in your house where you can move the antenna. If you were in a car, forget about it. You're losing that signal at some point.
Or if you live right next to the radio station.
Yeah, like literally on top of the antenna.
Yep.
Fuck that, man. I don't miss those days of trying to do it at all, man. Like I used to ride with my father. I used to have to be stuck hearing that. And then one of the greatest inventions was made, and I ended up getting one. A goddamn Walkman. My first Walkman. Saved my life.
Yeah.
Made those trips absolutely bearable.
Yep.
Because they were unbearable. Yeah, honestly, I legitimately like felt like, you know what? When like we'd be on the highway and we'd be fucking hearing that shit. And I would be like, you know what? If I just tuck myself the right way, I might survive jumping out of this car.
Tuck and roll.
Yeah, just tuck and roll. Right onto the goddamn Dexter Coffin Bridge, man. I hated it.
Yep. Yeah, but imagine listening to The Delicious Dish on NPR with 7 other people in your station wagon, and I'm sitting way in the back because I'm tall as shit. So they put me in the back of the station wagon where that big flat part is.
Yeah.
And there were speakers back there, so I couldn't escape it. And I didn't have a Walkman because my parents had 6 kids.
Yeah. Well, because if they had to buy you a Walkman, they would have to buy everybody.
They had to buy everybody a Walkman.
And they weren't having it.
No. So we all had to suffer fucking NPR in the station wagon. No, you remember the church station wagon we had? Like it had church writing on the side?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that shit. That big giant station wagon y'all had, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man. Dude, you could fit the entire population of Rhode Island in that goddamn thing.
I constantly had to sit in the back with my legs extended because fucking I was too tall to sit with everybody else.
Listening to NPR.
Listening to NPR. Yeah.
And you know what? Now that's made you the human being you are today.
A terrible one.
Exactly.
I'm a shitty human being.
And you can thank AM radio for that.
Yeah.